Good morning and welcome to another beautiful day. It is outnumbered live on your screen. Well, so many things happening around the world, and this morning we'll be bringing you to speed with just a few out of it from the dailies of today. My name is Ramsey Enoch, and I have Anthony Nwokolo. Good morning, Anthony.
Good morning, Ramsey.
Also to my left, I have Christopher Sunday. Good morning, Christopher.
Good morning, Ramsey.
Let's begin with the first headline that we have for the day, which is going to be coming from the Daily Trust newspaper. I don't know, but then I think we're going to talk more about these headlines later. It is the big story from the Daily Trust newspaper. SIM-NIN linkage. 11 million subscribers face blockage today. Two riders to that story. The first rider says, ask for more time. NCC forecloses deadline extension. That is from the Daily Trust newspaper. And of course, let me get to other stories. Hardship. We were threatened to end protests coming from NLC. To me, this doesn't sound well for me. If NLC is coming out to say they were threatened, all right, to end the strike, the protest that they started. I don't know if you want to start a protest as NLC and you don't foresee threat, then it means you don't know what you're doing yet. And for you to suspend or bring the protest to an end, then later you start telling people that you were forced to bring it to an end, then something is fishy somewhere.
Maybe we have to redefine that word force.
Force.
We have to redefine that word. Threaten. We have to redefine threat. What does it mean by in this country we know people who go or will embark on agitation.
But is there any protest that doesn't come with a threat?
Protests usually come with threats.
You are threatening the government.
Yes.
So
you want them to throw their hands.
Yes.
But again, I said let us redefine. What does it mean by threat?
So he should come out to talk to Nigerians and
in this country we know people who go by agitation.
Exactly. That he doesn't want
exactly.
To
he said that there is something he has done before that they have already they are using it to blackmail him.
And he said, okay, instead of me to go into blackmail,
let me withdraw.
Because Ajero, I just want you to know that this protest is not all about you. Forget the fact that you are the president of the Nigerian Labour Congress.
Of the poor masses.
Okay? This protest is for the poor masses. You're only fronting it because you have the privilege to be there today. So for you to say you have been threatened to end the protest is not a welcoming statement to Nigerians. You just need to know that. Finally, from here, I have this story which says two kidnappers repent, request to join hunters in Taraba. Well, they should go and hunt. That's going to be the size of the headlines from the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. Let's move to the next paper right away.
All right. On the Daily Times newspaper, federal government recruits 2,497 health personnel, enrolls 750,000 into NHIS. We can get the details of that story on page 4 of the Daily Times newspaper. The next headline will be taken, work with private sector to address peculiar challenges. The details of that story is on page 5 of the Daily Times newspaper. The next headline will be taken, NLC will no longer honor government's invitation for dialogue, says Ajero. This it's
Ajero is just speaking English. Ajero is speaking
English. Saying a lot this period.
I think
saying a lot.
I think Ajero is taking Nigerians for a ride,
and that's bad.
You want honor federal government invitation.
So what is the place of dialogue?
Why did you even talk about the protest in the first place? If you don't know how to do this thing, just get aside so that somebody else can come to the scene and do what they are supposed to do. So Ajero should not be telling us all of this. If you're not fit for this position, just step aside. I think that's what we have to say.
The details of that story is on page 2 of the Daily Times newspaper. Now, the last headline will be taken, which is the big story on the Daily Times newspaper. Economic hardship. Your patience, perseverance won't be in vain. Tinubu assures Nigerians. The details of that story is on page 5 of the Daily Times newspaper. Over to you, Christopher.
All right, from the Vanguard newspaper this morning, we called off strike over threat of intimidation. I think he should have taken, if actually what he says here is true, he should have taken advantage of that intimidation. That is where Nigeria... By the way, has he ever sat down to think of how Oshomole ruled as NLC president? And that's eventually helped him to win his case to become governor of Edo State. This is an opportunity. If truly he was intimidated, he should have taken advantage of that intimidation.
Ajero doesn't, personally, he doesn't look like a leader.
Well, he doesn't look like a leader.
To me, that's me, personal.
All right, Edo people are looking for a leader, and the crisis is up there as Philip, the deputy governor of Edo State, has invaded PDP secretariat and demanded that certificate of return should be given to him. Edo Goba, fresh crisis brews in PDP. Give me certificate of return or face lawsuit.
Is it your best right?
No,
something you demand?
I don't know what these people are doing. I don't know. They declare 2 people winners.
It's looking like a movie. Like a movie script or something.
Yes, there were parallel primaries
in Edo State.
Yes,
so the other man came a day before the stipulated date to collect it. And Shaibu came on the 28th and they told him, well, it's been collected already.
Yeah, but
there was a statement made. He said it should end in court. So I think he should go to court. Well, I'm not trying to say this like an APC person. APC will tell you, go to court.
Go to court. Wigwe family fixes dates for burial rights. Unfortunately, the Access Bank MD will be buried very soon, and they have lined up activities for the burial.
So rest in peace.
For the burial, and the wife, the son, and himself, may their souls rest in peace. I can imagine what the parents are going through right now.
It's pathetic.
If he had gone, and maybe I know he still has he left 2 children behind, but my brother, to what end is our struggle in life? Just December last year, Dangote and Etodola visited him in his new mansion in Lagos, and he has not even spent.
If you see how big that mansion is,
I think.
I just want people to know something. Life is not all about how much you accumulate for yourselves. You know, and that's the reason I keep telling some of these politicians who live life, okay, as if other lives don't matter. Within a twinkle of an eye, anything can happen. You know, when I hear about the death, I felt it. It was painful. I was like, hey, come on. This is a man that has, if you want to talk about money, he has money.
Everything you can
whatever you can think about.
You know why? The first thing that came into my mind, you see, the first time I saw him, I think I saw him on the screen for the first time about 3 weeks to his death, when there was a jingle on the university he's building in Port Harcourt, Wigwe University. And then I saw where he was telling the community that they should support him, that this university is for them. They own the university, they should safeguard the properties of the university. And 3 weeks later,
he's gone.
All right, let's move ahead. Makinde moves against rising food prices in Oyo State. I think this is what governors too should do. I think yesterday, I think Makinde is proving that, yes, he is a second-term governor. I think he is the governor of the people. You understand?
But Makinde joined the protest. He said, well, people are hungry.
Yes, now he entered the market, invaded the market, and asked them, why are they increasing prices of food? All right, moving on. Orasanye's reports, federal government labor disagree on job losses. Yes, we discussed this yesterday. We pray.
I think the federal government have come out to say, well, those people, nobody will lose his or her job.
Exactly what we said yesterday.
I think they heard us. They heard us.
Yes, I think they heard us.
They heard.
They heard Antonia.
Everything we do here.
Antonia threatened them. They threatened the NLC chairman, and Antonia threatened them. If my elder brother in CBN loses his job, I shall come after you.
All right, let's move
to okay. Tinubu to Nigerians. I won't rush to restructure during Obasanjo, restructure during Yaradua and Goodluck Jonathan, restructure during Buhari. restructure now. They don't want to restructure. You know why? It is all about their interest. That'll be the size of our newspaper review from the Vanguard this morning.
All right, let's quickly take the last from the leadership newspaper this morning. Our time has been spent already. Above the header, we suspended labor protests to avoid attacks at Jero. The details of that you can get on page 8 of the leadership newspaper. Then this one says NIN bank leakage. NIN, N-I-N, bank leakage. Okay, the linkage is going to be happening. They said 85.51 million bank customers risk account suspension. So this NIN thing is linked to the bank. You can see what's happening. Apart from disconnecting them, the account is also going to be suspended. That's what the paper is saying right here. Then the big story from the leadership newspaper this morning says the federal government takes steps to crash cost of drugs. I don't know how possible that is going to be. Some writers to that story, and now I'm going to take it quickly because of our time. Embark on medical industrialization. Secure $1 billion Afrexim Bank grant. All right. Okay. This one says inject 50 billion naira into primary health care. Then finally, Tinubu to sign executive order. Well,
I think for now, the executive orders he has signed, the policies he has signed into
let's see them play out.
Let us see them. Let them see.
When
you proliferate orders, when you proliferate policies, or when you bring so many policies, they will be clashing in the economic cycle, and at the end of it, what you get is what we are facing right now.
I think this
enough of this executive order. Last week he signed that of medical stuff,
because policies has brought us to where we are today.
They have consequences.
See, you don't do something without considering the consequences, and it's not all about just saying. Look at the aftermath of it. The pros and cons of all these policies should be looked into. That's where the problem is. All right, let's quickly go on this break. After this break, we will be back, and it's going to be time for the big story. Don't go nowhere.
Follow us on our social media handles at Oweleke TV. Visit our website at www.oweleke.tv for a thrilling journey. Oweleke TV, rising star at the fairground.
Welcome from that break. It's still outnumbered live on your screen with Ramsey, Antonia, and Christopher. Well, let's bring to you the big story for the day. What's the big story all about? Disconnecting subscribers. We've had this over time. This is not the first time we're hearing about this disconnection, all right? Subscribers to face, now it's not even disconnecting alone, blockage. And from one of the headlines, we heard that the bank is also going to suspend the account of these people because in a way, there is a linkage with your NIN and your BVN, then your bank account, everything going round. All these things were put in place for a reason. And as a matter of fact, this is something that Nigerians will see as a welcome development. But then, as it is from the papers, it's been said that 11.2 million active subscribers identity model, that is SIM, that's the SIM card now, yet to be linked to their owner's national identity numbers, that is NIN, will be blocked. When is it going to happen? Today. All right? And as a matter of fact, telecom operators who confirmed this yesterday to the media said this was in compliance with the directive by the Nigerian Communications Commission, that is NCC. The Executive Vice Chairman, NCC, Dr. Aminu Maida, had earlier yesterday reiterated the Commission's directive to telecom operators to block phone lines, all right, that are not linked to NIN by February 28th. Which was actually yesterday. According to Maida, represented by NCC's Director of Public Affairs, Ruben Morka, said, as a matter of critical national security, this is the reason why they really want to do that. telecom consumers must link their SIM to their NINs. And that has been on ground for a very long time. The federal government had on December 16th, if you could remember, in 2020, introduced the SIM-NIN synchronization with the assurance that it will enable security agencies to track criminals. I am just saying this so that you can know why this was actually done. And there was a lawyer who actually took this case to court and said, come on, you don't have to block the SIM, all right, of anyone. And they've said the reason why they actually want to do that. But the synchronization involved validating the NIN with the National Identity Management Commission, that is NIMC, and matching the subscribers' NIN records with the SIM registration information. That's the verification that has to be done now. This is in order to ensure proper subscribers' identification. Nigerians have raised posers on why the security agencies have not utilized, listen to that, the SIM-NIN linkage to track criminals. Nigerians are saying, hey, come on, why do you want to do this? What about the criminal cases that we've had? When was it said that, well, Boko Haram was tracked? Kidnappers, they make calls to say, well,
demand for ransom.
We have social person demanding for ransom and all of that. Calls have been made with SIM cards, and nobody have been tracked so far. So Nigerians have raised a poser on why the security agencies have not utilized the SIM-NIN linkage to track criminals, especially bandits and kidnappers who often reach out via phone mobile lines. You know how these things have been done to victims' family who paid huge amount of money as ransom. As a matter of fact, at present, there are 224.7 million active mobile telephone lines in the country. Okay, and according to the information released yesterday by the NCC on their website, that's what is there. And out of this, we've not had that, okay, this kidnapper was actually arrested in connection with his SIM card. This person was traced. Boko Haram they make calls.
Yes, absolutely.
They make calls.
And even when the families of these people that have been abducted want to pay the ransom, usually they'll give cash. Where are you? They'll send
Drop
the location.
It at social place.
Place. Don't look back. Don't make sure you don't inform the police. So they've not been tracked.
The real people who are supposed to be culprit, who are supposed to at least be frowned at, are not being frowned at, but innocent Nigerians who are doing business, who are doing genuine business, who are going through hardship, are the ones that are going to face this. So I don't know. Let's add our voice to the conversation. Is this the right time? What positive result have we had? At the end of the day, you even go to the bank and you see people queuing. If you go to NIMC office, you see in fact, the trouble people go through to even do this NIN. Sometimes you feel it's not even worth it because the kidnappers and the bandits are doing whatever they are doing scot-free without anyone tracking them via the SIM card. So let's add our voice to the conversation. Let me get your own take.
In 1998, my aunt came back from US and she wanted to call. At that time, there was no network had not improved the way it is now. So from my village, you have to travel down to a particular place of almost 30 kilometers
to climb a mountain,
to climb a tree to make call.
Yeah, can you imagine now, Christopher's village?
Yeah, no, as at then, the same way with your village. Now, I asked. She called her husband, and it wasn't picking. And I said, call the second line. She said, second line? That is, in America, you cannot just enter anywhere and ask for a second line.
The second line.
Here in Nigeria, as we talk now, I am sure that Antonia has about 11 lines.
How are you in my phone? 11 lines. How? What would I use 11 lines for?
Let me just say maybe two.
I have just one.
Just
one.
I
have just one.
She's an American.
No, just one.
So, if a SIM card is going to change my nationality, proudly Nigerian.
That is just a comic.
Proudly Nigerian.
The comic aspect of it. The truth of the matter is this. Let us tell ourselves the truth. fighting insurgency, fighting Boko Haram, fighting criminality has just about 10 to 20% of firearms and whatever you can think of by the Nigerian police and military. If we must tackle whatever insecurity that we are facing in this country right now, it is more of intelligence. Part of it is what we are discussing right now.
Intelligence gathering is just...
Let me tell you, I have a SIM now that I bought about 2 years ago. I never registered it, but because I've used it for almost 2 years. Now, if you dial that number, Truecaller will bring out my name. And I have never for once registered it. How did my name come on that SIM? I didn't buy it because I just wanted to do my research on how things are going. If our leaders want this country to be fixed, it can be fixed in the next 3 years.
That's it.
Enter Mararaba now. Enter Mararaba and meet those guys selling at some of these plazas. Ask them that you want a pre-registered SIM. They will tell you, okay, now it may be 3,000, 4,000. They have it there. You buy it and they will tell you
already registered.
Yes, they will tell you, okay, recharge it now. But if it gets lost, they will not. You cannot register it. You cannot do welcome back.
No, I think that's one of the reasons why the NCC has given that directive to link your SIM.
Are we supposed to?
Because of these issues of pre-registration, pre-registered SIM,
yes.
And then maybe you lose your phone and it's dropped to a criminal scene or something.
Yes.
You know, your SIM card is like your identity. What can be used to trace you?
We see with this SIM, if we are sincere with SIM, BVN, NIN,
no, we can track
we
criminals.
don't even need to go to the polls to stand to elect a leader. We can be even in our kitchen to vote for a leader.
Electronic voting.
Exactly. If this country, if our leaders are sincere,
they won't want people to do that because by that they can't do the rigging. That's it.
They can still rig it.
With the electronic
They
voting.
can still rig it. There are ways. They can still rig it. Technology has gone.
Have you heard of this story? Hush Puppy was arrested by FBI. He's in prison. He was in that same prison. He had access to laptop. He still hacked people's account and made away with millions of naira.
Even while in custody.
So when you say, let me tell you,
it's not even about the SIM alone. It's not just about the SIM.
It goes way beyond that.
Way beyond that. So if you want to track this security, this bandits, this to curb insecurity and all of that is beyond just blocking people's SIM and all of that. So there are more, so many things to be done. All right. I think Anthony, you have one last thing to say?
Okay, so basically, linking the SIMs to the NIN is a good way, but is the NCC assuring us that this database is safe? Not 3 months after you're asking Nigerians to come link their SIMs to their NIN, or maybe 1 year after, because in 2020, there was a directive, and most Nigerians linked their SIMs. In 2020, and now coming up, what happened? What transpired? There are no clear evidences. There are no clear explanations as to why.
Please hold on to your thought. Do you know that in this country, there are people that are using UK number in this country and it's killing through?
It's possible. Not only UK, foreign numbers.
Foreign numbers.
Many of them.
Foreign numbers. So this is something the NCC should look critically into, and not just the blockage of people unregistered or SIMs that have not been linked to their NINs. All these are irregularities that the NCC should look into.
All right, thank you very much. These are irregularities that NCC should look into. Well, I don't know, but then it's far beyond just blocking people's SIM, because one innocent man in the village somewhere who don't come out for because of maybe they only come out, let's say, on market days. They don't even know how to go about this SIM registration. People like that will be blocked. So we should try as much as possible to make sure these criminals are being trapped. My name is Ramsey, and it's been Antonia, and of course, Christopher. This is going to be the size of today's big story on Outnumbered. Have a beautiful day, and we will come your way again. Bye-bye for now.